You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Hop on YouTube, welcome to the hood table. Where we chop up local and globally, Vince vocally. You don't really wanna miss out on these conversations. Just joke a little, laugh a little. Get that wine in your system for your glass a little. Expose current events, talk trash a little. You never know, these opinions might clash a little. Get addicted to the content, gotta binge watch it. You don't like it, then you want to invite it. Bet your friends watching in the house and your job parking lot before you clock it. They don't wanna miss a second of this HD content. Everything they got something to say, so it's an open invitation. Bring it to the table, but if you come whack, just know we ain't buying in. We gon' probably turn you back and tell you sorry, try again. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable. Yeah, welcome to the hood table. You don't need Netflix, you don't need cable.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hood Table, everyone. Please come on in, hit the like button, hit the share button, and of course, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. It's your girl, Tanya, and Carmel Diva, my co-host, and we have a special guest with us. Hey! Please introduce yourself, our special guest, who is once again gracing us with his presence.
What's going on, everybody? This is Douglas E. Hopson, the author of the Amazon best-selling book, The Untold Secret, where I tell my life testimony of overcoming child abuse and child molestation.
Yes, and we have had you had the pleasure of having you on our panel several times before. Once we did like an interview with you, we did a pre-interview, then we did like a book release. You had a book release.
Ain't no look. Let me tell you, I'm gonna stop you now. So he ain't no guest now. You know how we do. Once you done been here, after that, you family, and you ain't no guest now.
Exactly. So,
but it's so good to see you again.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
It is very good to see you again, and it's always good to talk to you again. We've been literally keeping in contact ever since we first had you on the panel, because you've been doing some big, major things and got a lot of things, balls rolling this way, your hands in this pocket, that pocket. So we're kind of going to do like an update interview and find out what you've been up to, what's going on in your world and with the book and the movie. But before that, and hey Mika, what's going on? Hey Mika in the chat. Hey. But before we get to all that, I want you to just give a little rundown or a little synopsis per se of what the book is about for the people who have not been following this story.
Shame on them.
Yeah, that part.
Okay, so basically the book is my life testimony of overcoming child abuse and child molestation from the age of 3 to the age of 16 by my mother and my uncle. The book entails not too explicit of what happened, but basically the whole story of what happened and how I now have overcome and become the man that I am today. The book has really, really done well. Hit Amazon bestseller first night out, and we have been on the ground running from there.
Yes, you have been on the ground running.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Carmel Diva, do you want to ask him any questions before we get into like the update, like pertaining to the book or pertaining to his story?
You know, I know that you have overcome, but how? What gave you the strength, the resilience? Where did you get that from? Because you had been enduring this for so long.
For a long time. Yeah.
And then finally you found the strength. What gave you that strength to not stay a victim, to overcome that?
I believe my greatest aspiration was I was tired. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was sick and tired of being depressed. I was sick and tired of being angry. I was sick and tired of having the residue of being an abuser. That was the biggest thing. And I believe men don't tell their story. And I believe that God, when he allowed me to write the book, he gave the book power for men to overcome the stigma. I believe that men don't open up, they don't tell their story because of the stigma of becoming homosexual when being molested and the ramifications of being a man and being homosexual. So I believe that God allowed me to write this book. And the book was deliverance for me, but it was about saving the next generation. It was about saving people who have lived in silence for a long time, like myself. I lived in silence for a long time. And when I wrote the book, God gave me a freedom. He gave me a release. And now men, women, children are finally coming forth and saying, hey, you know what? It happened to me.
And I really like how you wrote the book. For those of you who have not read the book, I'm going to, like, every time we do a show with you, I always put like all your contact information. I put the Amazon link so that people can check the book out. But the book is I read it and I couldn't put it down. And it was emotional, but it was also inspiring because it's not just a book about childhood abuse at the hand of your parents or, family members and things like that. But you being is it evangelist or is it?
I'm a child of God, but I do hold the official title of an apostle.
Okay, so apostle, you're a man of God, a man of faith. So for you to be able to come from that level and then write a book like that, it's like you kind of was ministering at times through the book as well. So for the people who are going through this and who might pick up that book, they won't be like, oh, that's the same thing I went through. Da, 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 da. They might can find some inspiration, some motivation, some comfort, from you, from your ministering. That's what I like about the book as well, because some people, they could be 20, 30, 40, 50 and still haven't gotten over that. And so I think that what the book brings about too is helping you overcome,
what they say, speak over yourself. When you minister to others, you are ministering to yourself also.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And God gave me a revelation about 3 weeks ago. And he told me, he said, I create situations for revelation. And I didn't understand this. So I asked God, I said, God, what are you talking about? He said, in order for me to reveal myself to the people that are close to me, and we have to remember that God only reveals himself to people that are close to him.
Right.
He says, I create situations for revelation. In order for me to reveal myself and for me to get glory, I have to create a situation. Because situations are the only time that God really reveals himself. And I said, oh my God. So he said, I created this situation to bring revelation for me to get glory. And I want to tell that to the people that are listening. Anything that you go through, God created that so he can get glory out of your life. Because that's what God wants. God wants glory. He wants the honor, the glory. And we always say, well, God won't allow us to go through nothing bad. He created the situation for revelation.
Right.
So in order for him to get glory, he had to create something in order to reveal himself.
So somewhat like he has to break you down.
Yes,
to build you up.
Yes, ma'am.
But not only that, but a lot of people, you said it a few seconds back. A lot of times people don't get the glory out of God, or sometimes people don't see the blessing and things until something bad happens. And sometimes we gotta go through these crazy, sometimes very awful, storylines in our life, trials and tribulations, for us to come out with a testimony. So you said it right. Like some people like, why this person? Why, especially kids?
Yeah.
We see it all the time. Kids, that is like heartbreaking to hear about a child being, and it's like, why kids? Why? We don't know why. We can't ask God why, but sometimes things happen to us for a bigger reason, and that's to help others get through what they might be going through.
Yes, ma'am.
So.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. I believe that.
So everybody, if you haven't read that book, I do highly recommend it. I did an Amazon review on it and everything. So I do highly recommend that book. We want to get to what's been going on since you wrote the book, since it's been jumping off the shelves. I mean, you got movies in the work and everything.
Man. Yes, ma'am. Wow. So basically, so right now I'm on book tour. I am actually in Bartlesville, Oklahoma right now. I am preparing to speak on Saturday at the Rise Queens and Kings event in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, hosted by Miss Marva Brown at Black Link Magazine. We did a promo run today. We shook some people's hands. We went out and met some people, gave away some free merchandise today. And it's amazing how, again, telling the story, people that were in restaurants, people that were in stores, they stopped and listened. And we got testimony of people just by listening. I met a young man today and I gave him a shirt. And he said, man, he said, your story is amazing. He said, I was really listening to your story. So I gave him a shirt. And before we knew it, he had went into the restaurant bathroom, changed his shirt, put on his I Forgive You shirt, and was taking pictures with me. And I was like, oh my gosh. So like I said, we're on book tour. The book tour name is I Forgive You, the I Forgive You tour. So we are actually in the last phase of the book being written. The secret is out. Now we're talking about and empowering people to forgive. Mm-hmm. We're empowering people to forgive. So this is our first stop. We have some things going on in Houston, Texas coming up. We have some things in North Carolina coming up. We have things in Shreveport, Louisiana that we're getting ready to do. And it is amazing. It's just amazing what God is doing. Yes, we have a movie getting ready to come out next year.
Yeah. And I cannot wait. Now, do I get to play? Like, do I get to open a door or answer the phone?
Look, if I got anything to do with it, I just need y'all in there making it crunk. That's all I'm gonna ask.
Hey, you know that's what I'm good at, huh?
Yes, ma'am. You already know. Yes, ma'am. So we have a movie getting ready to come out. I'm actually going to tonight. I'm going to allow Tanya to release the movie cover. Nobody has seen the movie cover. So we're going to release the movie cover tonight here on the Hood Table.
Yes.
Our producers. Let me shout out my producers real quick. I want to shout out Mr. Willie D. Burton, 2-time Academy Award winner Willie D. Burton. He is known for his movie Dreamgirls, Forrest Gump, the new Spider-Man that just came out.
Oh, wow.
He's done Roots. He's done a lot of great movies. I want to shout him out. And my other producer, Ms. Doris Douglas, she has done some movies as well. So I want to make sure I shout them out while we're here. And later on, I want to shout out my sponsors. We have a lot of sponsors on this tour that have made this tour possible for us. One in particular I want to really shout out is Stallings Travel. I want to shout them out. They're helping us with our lodging and our travel. Lord Jesus, I got like 20 sponsors. American Tuxedo and Bridal, Mr. Bob. I have to shout Mr. Bob out. He is the one that's dressing me for Saturday. Anytime you see me in a tuxedo or anything like that, it is sponsored by American Tuxedo and Bridal out of Gallatin, Tennessee. Yeah. So we have several sponsors. VDL Trucking Company. They've sponsored. Alpha and Omega Publishing. They sponsored.
Oh wow! Now, how was it was it difficult, or what's the process getting sponsors for something like a movie?
Well, they sponsored the book tour, so it's not really when people believe in what you're doing, and I believe in my PR, Miss Mika. Let me shout out Miss Mika Diamond.
Yes, Miss Mika,
who is a GOAT at the PR game, a GOAT at the PR game. When they believe in what you're doing and they know that you're not just out here trying to sell something, that you're out here trying to actually change the narrative of people's lives, they don't mind sponsoring. And when I mean sponsoring, these businesses, these organizations did not just say, hey, I want to put my logo on your flyers, on your bus, or whatever. These people have written checks to help sponsor our travel, our lodging, to buy merchandise, gas. They've sponsored these things, clothing. So these people have put in the work to be able to be have their logo, have mentions, and things of that nature.
And
So
it's
these,
very expensive to travel on the book tours, and you definitely need a gas sponsor these
yes,
days.
ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. So let me say this. So Starlings Travel,
Mhm.
actually my fraternity. Let me shout out Mu Theta Chi Christian Fraternity Incorporated, which I just crossed not too long ago. They're a sponsor on this tour. American Tuxedo and Bridal, Alpha and Omega Publishing, Park Road Books, Black Link Magazine, Avery Cash Photography, Starlings Travel. These are
Hey,
just a few.
congratulations.
I know. Yes.
These are just a few of our sponsors that have written checks that have said,
Exactly.
Douglas, we're going to stand behind you in trying to change the narrative of a child's life. You
Mhm.
know, every book that's purchased, every T-shirt that's purchased goes to our now. It doesn't go to Douglas. And let me make this very clear
That's
to
amazing.
everybody that's watching. Your purchases of the book, your purchases of our merchandise. I have an exclusive set of merchandise that I have not released to the public yet. Every
Mhm.
bit of that money goes to our nonprofit organization, Life After the Abuse. Every one of those go to Life After the Abuse Inc. And we help children get free counseling. We help children go to school. I'm actually getting ready to set up a scholarship fund for
Okay.
children that have been abused to help them go to college.
Okay. I was just about to ask you when you mentioned that, what was the nonprofit? What do they do, or what does that entail?
Yes,
So that's
ma'am.
really cool, helping
Yes,
kids go
ma'am.
to college and everything. And is it going to be like mentors and people like that for like childhood
Yes, we're,
abuse?
we're working on that as well, for the mentorship program. I actually will be mentoring people personally.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that goes along with that as well. So we are really trying to change the narrative of children's life. And our motto at Life After the Abuse Inc., this is our
Mm-hmm.
motto: rebuilding a child's resilience one child at a time.
I like
Mm,
that. I
So
like
mm,
that.
you have to rebuild a child's resilience after
Mm-hmm.
they've been abused, after they've been molested. Their
yes.
self-esteem is no good. They're very confused. They're very angry. They're very frustrated, and
Yeah,
we
they
have
don't
to build
understand. Like
those.
kids don't understand.
Like,
Like you're
why
supposed to
me?
protect me. Grown-ups are supposed to protect you, so they don't
Yes,
understand. And there need
Mm-hmm.
to be more programs out there like that, because one thing we don't want is for those abusers or those abused to turn around and become abusers.
right. And you know what? 90, and this is an amazing fact. 93% of children that have been abused turn around and become abusers. 93%. And we as a people need to step up our game. I really believe this. If we take the time to talk to our children, I tell my grandchildren all the time, if somebody does something bad to you, you need to let me know. You know, and if we take the time to do that and really begin to listen to our children,
Mm-hmm.
anger when they act out in school, when they're acting promiscuous, is something going on at home that we're missing.
Believe them and believe
And
them.
we
Ask
exactly
questions
we need to
later.
believe them.
Ask
Yes,
questions later.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I don't think we do, Tanya. I don't think we do enough of that. We yeah, whatever. And your child's trying to tell you, hey, mom, this man said I was cute. If your
Mm-hmm.
child's 5 years old, who is this man that's telling you you're cute?
Mm-hmm.
You
And
know,
stop demanding your kids. Stop telling them, go sit on Uncle Henry's lap. Go sit on ground. So,
Right. Go get him a hug. That now see when my
yes,
kids were young, I stopped that then.
yep,
Um, go give so and so a hug. Go get and I started thinking about it. I was like, you know what? You do not have to hug every cousin, every auntie, every uncle. You can say hi and keep walking. You can
Keep
shake
it
their
moving.
hand and
Keep
keep
it
it moving.
respectful and keep it
Right,
moving.
But
Because a
right.
lot of times you can see
Comrade
in the
Debo,
children
you,
if there's a problem, they usually will they might not say it. A child could have been taken in a room 5 minutes ago, and then you turn around, go with Uncle who, and the kid looking like we have to really pay attention to
See,
our
I've always told my, and that's the one thing I have always told my kids. I don't care who they are in relation to the family or us. You tell me what somebody says or what they did or tried to do. I don't care if they tell you I'm going to cut your mama's head off. You come and tell me. You let me know. And my kids now to this day, they be like, well, we didn't really want to tell you because we know you was going to go left field. And I mean, because they know I'm going to check whatever it is that you have told me. If it involves an adult, I'm going to be the one to be like, okay, so why is there a problem? What happened? Who did, why would you do that? I
do
don't care if it's the lunch lady or whatever. I have checked the lunch lady in the middle of Walmart.
but do you not know that 98 out of 100% of abusers are people that we know, family
Mm-hmm.
members, uncles, aunts, mothers, fathers,
the
sisters,
neighbor, your
babysitters, the
kids,
neighbors,
friends, your kids,
friends of the
friends,
friends.
parents.
Exactly. And listen, this is a problem that is a silent epidemic. This is not nothing that just happens. This is
Mm-hmm.
a silent epidemic that we as America, we as parents, we as the church do not address.
Right.
And
Mm-hmm.
this is the problem.
The church definitely don't. I have never heard a church, and I've been in church since the age of 5. I ain't never heard them address that in church. Never. But
You
they
know
will
what?
address being gay. They will address being lesbian, but
Huh.
they will never touch child abuse,
But you
even
know
though
what,
it goes
Tanya?
on in the church too.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this very safely.
Okay.
We don't address it because we're afraid of it, and we don't address it because half of us have been abused and have not dealt with it ourselves.
That and then too many, unfortunately, it involves too many pastors
Yes.
and too many deacons, people that, like you said, we are supposed to look up to, we are supposed to trust,
Mhm.
and these are the same people that we depend on to help us and to be there for us and to
Right.
protect us are the ones preying on us. And
Right.
I mean PREY
Right.
ING, not PRAY
Right.
ING.
Right.
Well,
But
with your nonprofit organization, do you guys are one of your focuses going to be? And hey, everybody in the chat, if I miss somebody, hey, thanks for tuning in. But will one of your focuses be on how we know in our our community?
mm-hmm.
It's been for years, and I can relate it, not relate it, but I can say it probably goes way back to slavery,
Mm-hmm.
sweeping things under the rug.
Yes.
Do
Yes.
like how do we? It's one thing to believe our kid. It's one thing to believe our kid, but it's one thing to act on it. Like it's one thing to say. I done heard people say they mama told them when they was younger, just don't go over there. We ain't gonna just invite them over our house no more. But when it's in a family, it's birthdays, it's barbecues, it's holidays. It's like you constantly seeing this person that have done something to you because they sweeping it under the rug.
We
might
have
allow for them to do something to somebody else, by the way.
We have a legal obligation. A legal obligation. If we know that a child is being abused or we suspect a child being abused, we can be prosecuted if we don't bring that before the authorities. And
Even with
listen, Tanya, one of our goals at the Untold Secret, one of our goals at Life After the Abuse Inc. we want to get into the churches, and we want to. I'm willing to teach on warning signs of abuse because I believe that is very important, especially when you're ministering to someone, to understand who your sheep are. The Bible says, "For the sheep know my voice, and a stranger they will not follow."
Mm-hmm.
But it is very important for leadership to be trained and equipped to know warning signs in children that they have rule over. The Bible says we must obey those whom have rule over us.
Mm-hmm.
But if those who rule over us don't understand or are not equipped to see the signs, we have so many children in church that are dying because the leadership is not equipped to handle or to witness or to recognize the signs of abuse. And I believe, Tanya, listen, I talked to my PR lady, I talk to some of my people. I won't even charge what we normally charge to come and instruct leadership. But I believe this is an epidemic. And listen to me. And I pray what I'm getting ready to say ruffles enough feathers, not to cause hatred, but to send a warning, a ding, 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 ding.
Mm-hmm.
When we as the church become silent of an issue like this, we become part of the problem.
We are complicit. Yep.
When we as the church,
amen,
become silent of a silent epidemic, we become part of the problem.
Amen.
And I honestly believe if the church would say, you know what, Brother Douglas, we want you to come in, we want you to teach us, instruct us, and equip us to show us what listen, my wife has been a school teacher in Metro Public Schools for over 17 years. And when she read the book, she admitted to me, she said, baby, I misdiagnosed kids because I was not equipped with the warning signs of abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to me. I, as a kid, would walk up and down the hallway. It would be 10 kids in that hallway. 9 or 8 out of them 10 kids would get hit because I had just got beat the night before and I could not go tell anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I was angry, and the teachers they labeled me PTSD, schizophrenic, bipolar, manic depression. Listen, when you read the book, they had the top psychiatrists in the state of New Jersey interview me. And every psychologist and psychologist diagnosed me differently and did not know what was going on at home. Could you imagine, listen to me, could you imagine being told by your mother, if you go tell somebody I'm molesting you and I'm allowing your uncle to touch you and beat you, that I will kill you and hide your body and tell people that you ran away?
That's very traumatic, very traumatic.
These are things that happen to me. Listen, I need to find some keys. Give me some keys.
And then when you tried to tell, nobody believed you because they thought you was just a problem child.
Right.
What, Tanya, watch this. Watch this. I'm going to show you something. I just got over this sound about a year ago. This is normal. People hold keys all the time.
Mm-hmm.
As a grown man, I would carry one key because I could not tolerate this sound.
Mm-hmm.
When this sound came, I knew I was getting ready to get beat or I was getting ready to be forced to have intercourse. These are things that children, to this day, and I'm being very transparent, to this day.
Very triggering for you, yes.
Listen, to this day, I can't hold an iron.
Oh.
My wife has to iron my clothes.
Mm.
But can you imagine, Karma Diva, could you imagine if we were equipped enough to see that when we walk, if people have been in an abusive relationship and a man gets close to them, they jump. Why? These are triggers.
And unless you've been through something like that, you won't see it. You won't.
Yeah.
Let me say this. Could you imagine, and this was me, could you imagine not being able to be intimate with your mate because sex was a trigger? As a grown person, could you imagine not being able to be intimate with your mate because you were dealing with something and your mate didn't even know? These are things that the church teaches us how to get married. They don't teach us how to stay married.
Bingo. There you go.
Could you imagine being 42 years old, being 31 years old, being 22 years old, and not being able to do normal things because you've dealt with this type of abuse behind closed doors? This is the thing that we need to deal with. I'm tired of hearing, and y'all, I love women. My wife is a woman. I love women. I don't need no more women empowerment sessions. We got, listen. It is time for the men to step into their place. But men can't step into their place because they are bruised. They are scared to be who they are and to face rejection. We can't listen. Our wife, our mate are supposed to be people. I'm gonna say what Fred Sanford says. I don't want no hassle in my castle. But if I'm fighting the same demon in my house that I'm fighting inside of me, my house can't become my safe haven.
Right.
Listen to me. We all know the story of Samson and Delilah.
Yes.
Let me help you. Delilah got Samson to tell his secrets. Delilah and Samson never slept together. But because Delilah knew how to talk to Samson, she then began to get his secrets.
Yeah.
If the women would allow us to lay our heads in their lap and not try to sleep with us, but know how to talk to us, you as a woman would then begin to understand how to love that man past their pain.
All right.
And we're so busy wanting to be intimate sexually, but not be intimate mentally. If we can be intimate mentally, we can get to know, because guess what? A man is only going to tell you so much on how to love them.
Right.
But when you become intimate with God and intimate with your mate, you can go to God and say, God, show me how to love this man where he is.
Yes.
And most men, 98% of men, are loved because of what they can do.
Who?
Listen to me.
You ain't lying.
Listen to me. If a man can't be a provider, a woman won't love him. If a man can't pay a bill, a woman won't love him. But when are you going to say to yourself, if I can love him where he is? You know the saying, I love the hell out you? Watch this. You can love the hell out of somebody where they are if you become intimate with them in their mental state.
True.
But we us men don't have a safe haven. We don't have a place where we can become free. We don't have a place where we can lay down our hair and tell our intimate secrets. Because watch this. People will use your story to re-victimize the victim. Listen to what I just said. They will use your story to re-victimize you. Watch this. My ex-wife used my story to try to re-victimize me. And when we as men are victimized, we shut off. We shut down. And we have to be very careful with that. Because a man that always say they're okay, they're not okay. They're not okay. So I'm working with Mika Diamond. We're working on some things for men, because I believe if men have a safe place to tell their story, we will have more fathers involved in their children's lives.
Right.
We will have more fathers, more men knowing how to love a woman intimately, mentally, and become better husbands. Most men are not good husbands because they are taught how to be a husband.
And a lot of women need to be taught how to handle not just that, but also how to deal with a man who has been abused that way. Because you said something earlier about re-victimizing. I can see a woman right now. Well, that's why that happened to you. You probably wanted it. The same thing that they say in jail.
You probably gay. That's why you don't want me.
You probably wanted it you anyway. That's why the man was able to do whatever. You know, it's a lot of
they do. They take like you said, they take it and re-victimize you. And I know people who have and who will do stuff like that to people.
Yes.
They'll do it to family.
Yes.
Not just a love, a lover. They do that to family.
Exactly.
And it's just as hurtful.
Yes.
You do that to somebody that's in your family that you say that you love. And then you do that to them. Take the worst thing, the pain that hurts them the most, and use it to shame them, to shut them down, to hurt them. And that's despicable.
I agree.
That's just despicable.
It is. And you know what?
I agree.
We only do what we're taught.
We
only do what we're taught. We only do what we mimic what we see.
Right.
Listen, my wife, love of the life. It took her to go to God because I was always defensive about my past. And I always used to tell her, it's none of your business. Why do you care so much about my past? And when I realized that she wanted to know about my past so she could understand how to love me, only then did I begin to open up, because I trusted nobody, because everybody I trusted violated me. Everybody that I trusted violated me. And when I began to understand that this woman loved me beyond my fault. And I had a lot of faults because I was very angry. And being able to admit is the first step to recovery.
Right.
But I would never admit it because every time I admit it, it was used against me. But when she I'll never forget, Keisha told me, we were having a candid conversation. And she said, no matter what, I ain't going nowhere. And it was not only words, but it was actions.
Right.
And at that point, I really began to open up and let her know. You know, I didn't even let my wife read the book until it was published.
Wow.
Wow.
And she got mad at me. She was mad.
Oh.
I said,
I
no.
can imagine. Like, I can't even get a sneak peek. I can't even proofread. You know what I mean?
She didn't get to read the book until I was done. And I purposely did that. Because at the point, listen, there were times when I was writing this book that I wanted to stop because it was revealing too much of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And because I was in a flow, I didn't want to stop. Because in the midst of writing the book, I was being delivered and set free.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't want to stop that because I was at the point where I wanted to be set free. I wanted to be delivered. And I knew if I stopped,
you didn't want her because you were so used to holding on to that pain. That pain was your crutch.
yes,
You were used to holding on to that.
yes,
And like you said, you were being delivered, but
yes,
you were scared to let go of that crutch because
Yep.
it had been with you for
So
so long.
yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So that is
Wow. That's a lot to go. I mean, it's a lot to go through for any child at the hands of any type of predator, whether it's mother, father, uncle, grandpa, the mailman, who your coach, your pastor. But your story, it was hard to get through chapter. It was hard to get through a few pages without tearing up.
It
Honestly,
was.
it was hard to read, and you didn't even go like you said, you didn't go into like real graphic, but imagination is everything.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you say enough for us to picture. I would picture this little boy in a closet. I would picture this little boy tied up, chained up. I would picture the nasty old uncle coming in when the mama gone and vice versa. And I would picture like you were so young, like preschool age, kindergarten age, and to be abused and molested by your mom and the uncle in the same house. It's for you to not have jumped over the edge or something, or committed suicide, or became a drug addict, or became a predator yourself. It's just but God. That's all I can say.
But God.
There were times, and I believe I shared this in the book. I've tried to commit suicide 4 or 5 times. One time, I actually put a 9mm to my head in the gun jam. There were times where I took oxycodone, died on the table, and they were able to bring me back.
Because you
There's
had
been several times. And
God had a purpose for your life. He had a purpose. You didn't see it. You didn't know it, but God did. He had it. He had it all planned already. It was already written, but he had a purpose for your life. And by you letting go of that crutch and telling your story, you don't know how many people you are touching. You don't know. That's countless people that you are touching with your story, with your testimony, with your survival.
To God be the glory. You know, this is, and you know, the hood table hears this all the time when I'm there. This story was not about me. This story is about helping men. This story is about helping people. Because I believe God allows situations for revelation. And you know, as much as I used to preach, as much as I traveled this country preaching, my dad, Pastor Apostle Unity Shaheed of the Altar Worship Center in Houston, Texas, when he married my wife and I, he said to me, he said, "Son, your pulpit is changing." And I told my wife before we got married, I said, I want to get back into traveling and preaching and running revivals and things of that nature. But when my dad told me that, he said, "Son, your pulpit is changing." He said, "You won't pastor anymore." That was one of the most hurtful things that I've ever heard in my life. And he didn't say it to be hurtful.
Mm-hmm.
He
He
was
just knew.
he was prophesying what's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
He
Mm-hmm.
knew.
My pulpit has now become global
Yes.
with this story.
Yes.
And I'm gonna be very honest with you. I get more enjoyment seeing people become free outside the pulpit
Mm-hmm.
than I did in the pulpit.
And you can probably do a lot more help on a whole bunch of different levels outside of pulpit and still minister at the same time.
Yes. Yes.
That's something that would never leave me. God, the Holy Ghost, the evidence of speaking in tongues, and all, that's never gonna leave me.
Mm-hmm.
But I use the same method in my empowerment speaking. I use that same energy, that same strategy. And we have to be very strategic in this thing called deliverance.
Mm-hmm.
Because people get delivered in empowerment sessions. People get delivered and set free in coaching sessions. Because not only am I an ordained apostle, I am a certified life coach. I'm an early childhood trauma specialist. I'm certified in 5 different states for early childhood trauma specialists. I eat this thing just like I eat the word. I study this thing like I study the word. And when I strategically come on platforms as this, platforms as major arenas, platforms as Rise Queens and Kings this weekend, I strategically study. So facts with people are greater than acts. People want to know factual information so they know that, one, you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
2, being factual helps people understand why they write checks to your organization.
And it builds trust too.
They understand that you're impacting people. You're not just, I don't just sell a book. I just don't sell merchandise. When I come, I'm coming to change your life, literally. And people are more susceptible to say, Douglas, you know what? We'll write you a check for $10,000 because we see the impact that you're having on people's lives. And guess what? Those people who write checks have had some people, or not themselves, molested, abused.
Right.
And that is their way of saying, hey, it's me, but I don't want to say it's me. But because you are God's spokesperson that's brave enough to speak up,
Right.
I'm going to push you.
Right.
I'm going to push you. And these are people that literally have sponsored this tour. People that some of them have admitted, and some of them have said, you know what? I'm not brave enough to say it. But I'm going to show you that I believe in what you're doing because you actually changed my life.
Well, do you recommend people? A lot of people are not, and it don't matter how old they get, they still can't talk about it. Do you recommend them speaking out about it? I mean, maybe not publicly, but to someone.
Counseling.
Like,
I believe if they don't ever speak about it publicly, they need to speak about it privately.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you why. It brings a sense of freedom. I don't think I could have went to my grave with this. And the simple reason why, I know there are too many people in this world that have been through this. And they have named me the voice in the wilderness for those who live in silence. Even if you speak to me privately, your name would never be mentioned.
Right.
but you have an outlet, and I want to let people know that are watching. You have an outlet.
Yes.
You have where your story will be safe, because I understand how it feels to be re-victimized.
Yeah.
People, you need to talk about it. Again, if you don't talk about it publicly, get with somebody that you trust and
Because
let it go.
by not telling your story, once again, you're holding what that's a crutch that you're holding on that's killing you more and more every day. And like you said, whether that person who victimized you the first time, whether they get in trouble or not, that has nothing to do with you. That's between them and God. But for you to stop being the victim, for you to regain your power, you need to go ahead and tell your story to somebody. Somebody needs to hear your story, because it may not heal you, but it may get somebody else to tell their story and heal from their pain and their victimization.
You know, Karma Diva, when we stay silent, we give the perpetrator more power over us,
Mm-hmm.
because the perpetrator feels that they got away with something.
Yep.
The
Yep.
perpetrator feels that what the old song say, another one bites the dust. But when you are brave enough to speak up and speak out, you diminish that perpetrator's power.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
break down that principality that's had rule over your life for so long.
Yeah.
I'm no longer a victim of child abuse. I am a victor
Yes.
over child abuse.
Yes.
And I am, God is allowing me now to be able to speak for people who can't speak for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a great feeling to be able to speak on behalf of people that have been silent all of their lives.
Mm.
You know, so I really encourage people, if you can't talk about it publicly, find somebody, write it down in the journal. You
Right.
know, I just released on my merchandise website, I just released the Untold Secret journal.
Mm-hmm.
And I want people to buy that journal and write. If you can't tell anybody, you don't trust anybody, write it down in the journal and burn it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You then release in your journal. And I encourage people, when you write in your journal, don't go look back at it. Because sometimes when you write and you go back and rehash it, it takes you back to that place where God has delivered you from.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
So I believe that if people write and don't go look back, that would also help.
I think so too. I truly believe in that. And I used to, every year I would on New Year's, I would write all the stuff that affected me
Mm-hmm.
negatively or whatever. I would write it all down, and at midnight I would burn it
Yep.
and just let it go. And as they say, let go and let God, because and then I had to think about it too. As I'm looking back, I can't move forward if
Exactly.
I'm steadily looking back.
Exactly.
And like you said, that's a place that God has already taken me from, and there's nothing I can do about it now.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
release it and let it go. We have to, I mean, we sometimes, like we said, we have to minister over ourselves. And that is a way to minister over yourself, is to, like you said, journal it, burn it,
do whatever you need to do,
Mm.
but do that, set the captive free, and realize that you were the captive, but
Exactly.
you are also the person with the key
Yes.
to release the
Yes.
captive.
Yes. 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 So Tanya, before I forget, I know we're talking about some deep stuff here. Before I forget, I would love to. I need to make an announcement if I can, if that's okay.
Okay, is it picture time?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Oh,
Not,
okay,
not
okay,
yet.
okay, go ahead.
So today, listen. If you are in Tulsa, Oklahoma, today the Untold Secret made history.
Uh-oh.
Today we had the pleasure of going to a store called Black Wall Street Corner Books and More.
All right.
I want
All
y'all. I
right.
want y'all. I want y'all. Somebody write that in the chat for me. Black Wall Street corner store in More. It's corner store and More.
Okay.
If anybody knows anything about Black Wall Street,
Mm-hmm.
what was
Mm-hmm.
Black Wall Street?
Oh, I can tell you about Black Wall
Go
Street.
ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Um,
Carmelito.
It was because Tulsa was so segregated. There was basically two Tulsas. There was the white Tulsa and there was the black Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
Well, black Tulsa was prospering more and better than the white Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
They got jealous
Mm-hmm.
because black Tulsa, they had doctors, they had banks, they had lawyers, they had it all.
Mm-hmm.
They had it all. They were self-sufficient.
Mm-hmm.
And the white Tulsa people were jealous.
Mm-hmm.
Plain and simple. Um, I cannot think of the young lady's name, but supposedly I've heard all kind of different stories.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know that the young man, he was supposed to be the elevator operator,
Mm-hmm.
and they called him Diamond Dick.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he got on he was on the elevator with a young white lady. She never claimed rape, but that was the story, that she had gotten raped.
Mm-hmm.
They took this man, and of course it wasn't bad enough that they lynched him, but they did all kind of horrible stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't enough that they had did that to him. They came in and the black folks, they stood up. We stood up to them. But they called in the federal government. The federal government, instead of protecting the black citizens who were the ones, defending themselves, their lives, they brought in the federal government. They brought in troops. They flew airplanes that dropped bombs. They killed over 300 people. And I believe it was a week's time. They
Yes,
killed
ma'am.
over 300 people.
Yes,
Those
ma'am.
who did live, who managed to make it to safety, I believe was in the woods. Those who made it, they were sworn. They had to, they were like, you better not ever tell nobody what you seen here, what happened here. That was 1921, I believe. And
So about the massacre and all of that stuff.
mm-hmm,
So we know now that Black Wall Street is rebuilding. It's a very historical place in the city of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
mm-hmm.
The Untold Secret and all of its merchandise is now exclusively being sold on Black Wall Street at that bookstore.
Oh,
Exclusive.
They are the only ones in the state of Oklahoma
All
Okay.
right
that
now.
have permission to sell my merchandise, to sell my
Yes.
book.
Yes.
So we want to thank Black Wall Street Corner Store and More for
That's
partnering with the
awesome.
Untold Secret and Life After the Abuse to sell exclusively our merchandise. So
Um,
today was history for the Untold Secret.
Congratulations.
And thank
congratulations.
you
That
so
is
much. Thank you so much. So what I'm going to do, Tanya, I'm going to have somebody drop a link in your comment section.
Okay.
This link is exclusive merchandise.
Okay, now they might not be able to drop links because we have a thing where people, unless they're
a mod or somebody.
moderator, they can't just drop links. So how about you put it in the back chat?
Okay.
And
Okay,
then
hold on
and
one
put it in
second.
the private chat, and then I can drop it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
Yes, I am so
That is
proud of
wonderful.
everything you have been doing.
Yes,
It's amazing.
yes. And
So,
I'm
Tay-
glad that he's always coming to the hood
I
table
know.
to drop these gems.
You
Hey,
feel all special.
so Tanya, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna send it to you
Okay.
on Facebook. That way,
Okay.
you can drop the link. So this link here is my official drop shipping website.
Okay.
This website has not been released to the public until today.
Okay.
okay.
So if you go on there, there is exclusive merchandise. We have iPhone cases for every generation of iPhone that's ever been made. We
Mm.
have backpacks, we have slippers, we have fleece covers,
Oh wow.
we have bath towels, we have tumblers, we have the little things that people are sticking on the back of their phones now.
Oh,
Definitely
the
need
pop
one of them.
sockets.
And the tumbler and the towels.
We have all of that on this official website here. So if they can go to this website, it's shipped directly to them.
Okay.
But this is exclusive merchandise that they have access to here.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, Tanya,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna release 3 things tonight that has not been released to the public yet.
Uh-oh.
Exclusive stuff.
Yes.
So that is one. So Tanya, you after I introduce it, you can drop it.
Okay.
I'm going to release on the hood table only the new movie cover for my new movie
Mm-hmm.
that's getting ready to come out next year. This movie is going to be, I believe, is going to be. I think this is going to be a
A blockbuster. It's gonna be like
a
number one
blockbuster.
for like months and months and months.
Now,
I
I do
believe
have a
so.
question about the release of the movie. Is it
Yes,
going to be a theatrical release, or
yes.
is it going to be like, something that's going to be released on Netflix or HBO
No,
Max?
man. This is going to the big screen.
Oh yeah.
All right.
This is going to the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
So without further ado, I want to introduce my movie that's coming out next year, produced by 2-time Academy Award winner Willie D. Burton and Miss Doris Douglas. I want to release to the public my movie entitled A Conflicted Mind.
Mm.
So I'm gonna let Tanya release the movie cover for that.
Here we go. Y'all ready?
I'm ready. I'm
roll, please.
bated breath.
Okay, let me blow it up first. Let me blow it up. I want to put it real big so everybody can see it. Here we go.
That is the new movie cover.
Oh,
Mind.
check you out.
And if you look in the background, that is my face in the background.
Oh, I
Let
see.
me see. Oh, okay. I can see it now. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yes.
And
yes.
that suit is from where again?
That suit is that tuxedo that I'm wearing in that picture right there is sponsored by American Tuxedo and Bridal.
All
Okay.
right, because they got you looking suited and booted.
Yes, ma'am. So Tanya, I just sent you something else too.
Okay.
So guess what, guys? You guys have heard about the Untold Secret.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting ready to release an ebook. This ebook is now on pre-sale.
Okay.
If you look in your on your Facebook page, I just sent you the link to it. I wrote an ebook called The Power of Forgiveness.
Mm.
And this goes along with the Untold Secret. But now we're talking about forgiveness. If you guys can see my t-shirt, I have a t-shirt entitled I Forgive You. So this is the new shirt that we are promoting, the I Forgive You t-shirt. That is out now as well. But I'm going to give you guys the link. Listen, the Hood Table, when I released the Untold Secret, I think we sold about 80 books when we released the Untold Secret that night. So I would love for my Hood Table family to go tonight and pre-order The Power of Forgiveness. This ebook, I actually walk you through the steps of forgiveness. I teach you the different types of forgiveness. And I think this will be really good for a study for people that have been abused. Learning how to forgive yourself, learning how to forgive your perpetrator.
Now, see, that's something that we don't do enough. We are always taught to forgive other people, but
not
we are
forgive
not
ourselves.
taught how to forgive ourselves.
Exactly.
Yes.
And
Yes.
a lot of times we blame ourselves too.
Yes, we
Yes,
do.
and we carry a lot of guilt that whether it's true guilt or just just a feeling like she said of being guilty.
Yes. Yes.
We do
Yes.
need to learn how to forgive ourselves.
Yes.
So that's going to be very powerful.
Yes.
That's a very powerful
Yes,
tool.
ma'am. So if you guys can go download, pre-order that new ebook that we got out, I would love to outdo our pre-sales for the Untold Secret. I think we had 280 pre-sales for the Untold Secret ebook. So I want to outdo this ebook here. I think this ebook is going to be powerful. It's going to help a lot of people, and I think it's well needed. It's well needed. It's well needed. So Tanya's going to drop that in the chat when she gets a chance to.
Yes, and I just ordered mine.
Oh, you just ordered yours? Amen.
Drop the
Amen.
link so I can do it.
I'm trying to. The link is saying it's too long. The link is
So
really long.
let me see if I can shorten it for you, Tanya, while we're online.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
And I just want to know if the film has filming started yet? Because I want to be like door opener number 4 or something.
The filming will probably start
Can I
next
bake a
year.
cake on the movie? Can I bake the cake? Like have me up there decorating?
You know what?
I'll be choir member number 3.
My producers are in the process of doing another movie right now. So filming has not started yet, but it should start sometime early next year. Tanya, I'm trying to get this thing to do it so we can so I can get this link to you.
Okay.
So we are
I
definitely
can always share it in the description box and on my YouTube page and on my Facebook page and on the Hood Table page. So
okay, here it is. I just got it.
Okay.
I just got it. Hold on one second. I'm about to send it to you again.
All right.
But yeah, we should be starting sometime soon next year. We're just waiting for them to complete the movie that they're doing. I just sent it to you again. Complete the movie that they're finishing up now. So I'm super excited about that. But we will be touring possibly until September, October. And then we're going out. We're going to take a break and regroup and come back with something else stronger. So
now I do want to also ask you, I'm sorry. I know last year you were doing around this time you were doing not seminars but workshops.
Yes.
Are you still doing your workshops, or is that kind of on the back burner for now?
No, we're still booking workshops. You can call 615 461 to inquire about workshops.
Mm-hmm.
And we can have my assistant or my PR person get back to you about that. So they can call that number. They can go to our website, www.theuntoldSecret.org, and inquire there as well.
Mm-hmm.
They can definitely do that. They can actually follow my new page as Douglas E. Hopson. It is actually a like page, a fan page on Facebook, and they can send a message there and they can inquire there as well. So we're still doing workshops. We're still doing empowerment sessions. We're still doing book signings and things of that nature. But they have to inquire via those steps, and we will be more than happy to answer any questions that they may have concerning bookings or anything like that. Interviews, they need to reach out to Miss Mika Diamond. That would be the person that they will reach out to for booking media.
Okay.
And her number is area code 832-780-9390.
Say that one more time. 832?
832-780-9390. That would be Mika Diamond. She handles all of my PR and media. So if you want to book me for an interview, live interview, Facebook live interview, Instagram live,
Okay.
YouTube live, that would be the person to reach out to for that.
Okay.
So
I'm just trying to make sure we cover all our bases and get all your, all your works out into the public domain.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and if you could send me all, because I got like your information on every video we done, like your emails and it. So if you could, when you get a minute, just if anything's updated, like your emails, your websites, your send me all the links so I can just make sure I got them updated.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll put Mika's number in there too, and your Facebook. I just put your Facebook link in the chat too for your page.
Cool beans. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. We're trying to change people's lives, and that's it.
And I appreciate it. I appreciate that as a victim of survivor of that type of abuse myself. And I appreciate what you're doing. And it's crazy because I had started a book a long time ago. Like,
let me find out.
I'm talking about probably 15 years ago, and I never finished it. And you know why I never finished it?
Why?
Because of something you said earlier. A lot of people, when they get to talking or doing things like that, they be scared to put too much information out there. And one thing about it is, even if I switch names, it's like you know what I'm saying? It's like you gonna know exactly who I'm referring to. It's that type of thing that I'm going through right now. Like, should I really make it a bio, or should I make it just a story and just make a whole different scenario? Because I really want to tell my story. But what do you recommend for people who want to tell their story, but they're scared that it might get backlash from the people who did the stuff? You know what I mean? Like, how do you go about that?
I faced the same thing.
And I bet you did. I mean, is your mom or your uncle?
I faced the same thing.
Home than that. Sure.
And you know what? I had a strong support system to help me fight through the mess. But if you don't feel strong enough, write it and hold it. That's what I would do. I would write it and hold it, and until you're strong enough to deal with the backlash.
Yeah, it's about 13 chapters.
Okay.
That I wrote like 15 years ago. And I still have it on my computer and everything.
But you know what? I would turn 13 chapters into 6 chapters apiece and write 2 books. You always run for longevity. Like right now, I wrote the Power of Forgiveness. I'm actually in the process now of writing my other book called Sleeping with Delilah.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
in,
that was one that I'm
yeah,
looking forward to too. Yeah.
I'm in the process of writing that now. I'm in the process of I'm writing 2 books at the same time. Sleeping
Now,
with Sleeping with Delilah and From Pimping to Preaching.
mm,
Oh,
I'm in the
I
process
like
of
that
mm,
title.
and that those both are copywritten. So then let me just throw out that disclaimer: they are both copywritten.
okay.
So, but
All right, you better get on that shit. Get that copyright.
yeah, but
Now, I do have a question. Now,
yes,
would you categorize forgiveness and healing as the same thing,
yes,
or you
yes,
would?
yep,
So
yep,
you would categorize those as the same thing.
yes, yes. And I'll tell you why. Forgiveness brings about healing, but you can't get healing without forgiveness.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
You can't get
I
healing
was
without.
thinking that just because your book is saying I forgive you, but then I was thinking, well, maybe there could be a third book on the healing,
It
how
is.
the healing came about, and how you go about helping other people to uh, potentially get their healing too.
It is. It is a third book from book number 1. There was another book coming out, and I don't know when I'm going to release that yet. it's it's entitled "The Untold Secret: Going Home, a Place I've Never Been Before." And then there's
Mm-hmm.
another book that goes along with that. Is "The Untold Secret: Delivered to Be a Deliverer."
Mm,
So those are books that are in the making. I have not released those yet because of certain other things that I need to get done first.
mm-hmm.
But there are other books coming out about healing, but I wanted to get the forgiveness out first,
Okay.
because again, you can't have healing without forgiveness. So I wanted to get that out first. There's always a method behind my writing, just like there's a method behind our t-shirts. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
our t-shirts were the storyline of our book. So because we had the Untold Secret t-shirts, we
Mm-hmm.
had and we still have the Untold Secret t-shirts. We have the Secret is Out shirt, and we released that shirt when the book finally got released. So
Okay.
now in the final process, we have the I Forgive You shirt, which is now the final process of going through the book and going through The Secret is Out. Now we're doing I Forgive You. So
Okay.
there is a message behind each thing that we do. I try not to put out too much at one time because I don't want to confuse everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to take them along the journey. And this is a journey. It's a journey to forgiveness. It's a journey to healing. And I want
Mm-hmm.
to take those people on that journey. So everything needs just needs to line up to what the message we're trying to relay. So,
Okay.
I thank God for Mika Diamond and my wife. Mika Diamond and my wife keep me on the straight and narrow. And I have so much that I want to release, and I just can't at this time. We
Yeah.
have a book that I want to republish, called Understanding the Traits of Jezebel.
Mm-hmm.
I want to re-release that as well. But we have a strategic plan, and things are actually working the way Mika Diamond has strategically put it together. So I always want to give Mika Diamond her roses while she's living,
Right.
because that young lady works hard. She hit the ground running when we hired her, and she has not been anything but what we have expected.
Mm.
So I am
Well, we
grateful
thank you,
for
Sister Mika, because
her.
when this brother came in our lives, when Tanya first introduced him, what was it, 2 years ago? Oh my
Yes, ma'am.
gosh.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. Because that was right when Corona hit. Because
Yes,
you
ma'am.
guys were supposed to, oh
Yes, ma'am.
man.
We were supposed to come to Omaha. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
But just meeting him, and we just met through the computer doing an interview, and it was just such a breath of fresh air. It was an anointing, because remember, we done had some talks, we done had
Yes, ma'am.
some preaching, some
Yes,
crying,
ma'am.
some
Yes,
some
ma'am.
praying,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
it is always a wonderful thing. And I do appreciate, as your sister in Christ, I appreciate Mika for helping
Baby.
you to get the word out there, to bless and anoint other people. And
And she's so professional.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just love her. She's so
So, so,
cute.
so, so, real
oh,
quick.
Keisha, or you mean Keisha or Mika? See, I like Keisha because of the way she spelled her name. That's how I spell mine too. So
So
Hey,
listen, y'all.
beautiful. Hey, beautiful.
This is the other woman that I want to give her flowers while she's living.
The
Uh,
queen of the house.
okay.
this is First Lady, as Mika calls her. This is my wife. This is my rock. This lady has loved me beyond.
Beyond your faults
I don't
and
even know what
everything.
to say. I'm trying not to cry.
Oh,
I'll
But
don't
do
and cry, bro.
that.
It's all right. You
but
amongst family.
this lady here, I owe her my life.
Mm,
Um, I owe her my life, and I will forever be grateful for her.
that is
She's taught
beautiful.
me how to be a better man.
Mm,
She's taught me what love is. She's taught me what family is. She's taught me a lot of my family values that I have now that I did not have.
mm-hmm.
Uh, she's taught me how. Listen, she's teaching me how to manage money, and
Oh,
that is something that I have to admit I am poor at managing money. But this young lady told me, she says, "Babe, let me help you manage money better." And being a man, I don't need your help doing it. I'm a man. I can do. And you know what? When I said that, I looked at myself and slapped myself. I said, "Now you know
good and
that
well. That you,
she's better at managing money than you are."
hey,
So
but
I'm
that's the
grateful.
thing. When you finally get a good partner, a partner who wants to be your part, they want to be your other half. They are your other half. I believe that we are there to teach and learn from each other. So the things that you don't know, she's there to teach you and help you to grow and to manifest that, and vice versa. And
Indeed.
I think that's a beautiful thing that you two have found each other, and you are pushing, not necessarily pushing each other, but you are that person behind. Sometimes you may be in front, sometimes you may be in the back, but you know, give that person that encouragement. And that's what I believe she does for you, because I can see it in your face when she walked over.
That's the
Definitely.
rib. That's the rib. And sorry, I got
Definitely.
people
Yes.
working on the house and they keep calling me. Sorry.
Definitely. She is definitely my rib. She is definitely the good thing that God has given me and blessed me with. She's definitely the key that has unlocked the favor over my life. And I'm
All
grateful.
right.
Yes, God definitely placed you guys together.
Yes.
Okay, you can go
Yeah.
now.
He said you could. Oh, he don't want to. Look, he don't want to share the.
She's
He
so
don't want to share
pretty.
the sign.
She's so pretty.
So she is definitely my biggest cheerleader. She's definitely my biggest cheerleader.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Good.
That's amazing. That's
I'm
amazing.
grateful.
Well,
So
I'm looking forward to the movie, but I'm like, where is the big premiere going to take place? Do we have
um
to be flued out?
we are definitely doing one in Tennessee. We're thinking about Houston, Texas,
Mm-hmm.
and possibly definitely one in LA. Definitely one in LA.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be 3 different places. I have family all over.
LA.
Well,
So
two of them places. Well, see, if you do it in Houston, I got family down there too
And I
now.
got
Sure.
family down in San
Name
Antonio
of it.
and Memphis, Tennessee. Yes. But
listen, well, but you
Bulldog
know
is
what,
in LA.
Because I used to live in Houston. I went to what was it? It was called Good News Church on
well, you know what,
Wilkers.
I'm going to be in Houston in August. We have,
Hmm.
I think, like I'll probably be there for 2 weeks. So when we do this big event, Tanya, get with Mika. Y'all can come on down to Houston and we can turn up in Jesus' name.
Oh, that'd be so fun. And
Yeah.
when you go to
Road
LA,
trip, Tanya, road trip.
Yeah, so
I gotta pay my own ticket to LA just to. I know Snoop Dogg will probably be up in there. You know, I'm seeing this movie as being like super big. So like all the celebrities, you a celebrity. Yes. Oh my God, you'll be popular than them when this is all said and done. Everything come out, they were like Snoop wherever.
I just want to be a child of God that's trying to help people. I can care less about the celebrity status.
Now I don't want you getting all popular and forgetting us. You know, be like hood table. Who
about the little?
Really? This is the only place I release exclusive stuff to, man.
You are an official hoodie. You are an official hoodie.
I'm an official hoodie.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I never forget the hood table. Y'all have been such a huge supporter of the Untold Secret. It has been an honor, and I'm glad that you all keep allowing me to come back with updates. That is amazing.
You are always welcome. You always welcome at the hood table. Any type of update. If you just want to pop on, you know we be on here all the time on Friday. If you just want to pop on, just because it ain't nothing.
Just kick it with us. Hey, come on.
Indeed.
But yeah, make sure you send me all your updated information, everything that you want me to attach to every video that we have done in my social media sites.
Okay, I'll get Mika to send it over to you.
Okay.
I'm trying to stay in my lane. I'm trying to let the people that I hire do their job.
It's hard for me because I started out. We was like talking back and forth.
No, it would never be like that with us. There's people that can contact me, but I always still try to filter because I don't ever want to
let them do their job.
Right.
She asked me earlier today for the link for you to jump on here. And I was like, oh, I was just about to put it in your inbox. And I was like, oh, that's right. I got to go through the proper procedure.
Look, have your people call my people.
Right. But you know, you can always call me. You can always inbox me. I'm always there. You know, again, I'm just trying to learn. And it's very hard because I've done this by myself for so long.
Yes.
And when you have and Mika is a workhorse. If I need something done, she gets it done. She gets it done. You know, so it's hard to. And actually, I said this today to them. I said I'm learning how to relinquish control. Because we trust Mika. My wife and I both. We trust Mika. We know she's not going to do nothing crazy.
It's good you have somebody you can trust because you already know how it is, especially in the entertainment industry.
Yes. So we trust Mika, and you know she does her job. She does her job and does it well. So you know I'm just trying to relinquish control a little bit.
So other than your books and the movie, do you have any other projects you're working on? Are you still working on managing your groups or?
No, actually, the Chosen Few in Omaha and I are no longer together. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Of course, Courtney and I, we love each other, and we had the mutual respect of saying, you know what? And we talked, and he said, Doug, your book is taking off. And
you got a lot going on.
You have a lot going on. But trust me, if I ever need them, if they ever need me, they know they can still call me. I love Courtney Jackson and the Chosen Few of Omaha.
That would be wonderful to have them in like a church scene in the movie.
Yes.
Oh, like an inspirational song.
Yeah, that's still going to be happening. I love them with all my heart. You know, actually, somebody called me to book them about a month and a half ago, 2 months. And I actually called Courtney, and Courtney was like, just book it. I don't care. You know, we still have that great relationship. You know, if I ever need them, they ever need me, they know they can call me. There's never any bad blood between Courtney Jackson and I.
He's a great guy. You know, we go way back to school days.
Great,
I grew up with him. Yeah. We
Great
sang in
people.
the same choir in high school together. So
Wow, wow. So no, we're not together anymore.
Mhm.
But you know, again, we still have a great relationship. And again, it was no bad blood when we left. They understood what was going on, and they
Right.
understood the direction God was taking me. And we just
Mhm.
came to a mutual agreement. Like, listen, I won't manage you guys no more, but if you need me, I'm here. And Courtney said
Right.
the same
Right.
thing. And if you call Courtney right now, he'll tell you the same thing. Man, we love Doug. Doug. And I was one of the managers that actually did what I did. You know, that
Yeah.
I did exactly what I told them I was going to do. We were nominated for awards when I had them.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Ladies of Adoration. There's no bad blood between us either. They
those
understand.
ladies' voices, oh God, they have some
They
beautiful
understood where God was taking me, and I
yeah.
understood what God was taking them. And sometimes you have to relinquish some things like that because
Mhm.
there's a higher
Mhm.
level that they need to go. You know, and we
And at least
agreed.
you honestly can say, you know what you got to do, and you know that with all the percentage of time that you cannot honestly give, you know, it would be selfish
Right.
of you to try to keep holding on to those groups, and you know you
It's
got all
like
this going on.
this, you know, they
Right.
say that some people, you know, God will tell you everybody can't go where you're going.
Right.
Somebody, you know, and it I'm glad that it ended on a good note. There was
Definitely.
no animosity or anything. And that's a beautiful thing that everybody understood that, you know, hey, Doug can't go with us over here. We can't go with him over there. But if ever we need each other, we'll meet in the middle.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. You
And
know,
that's a beautiful
and
thing.
Pastor Rollison, he been trying to get me to come do a book signing. You know, and Pastor, that's my guy. Pastor Rollison, my guy. So you know, I mean, if I come when I come to Omaha,
There you go. Not if, when you come.
you best to believe that Courtney Jackson and the Chosen Few gonna be in the building.
Oh
You know,
yes,
Okay.
yes.
you
They'll
know
be there.
they've
Yep.
always been a supporter. Even when we departed ways, they still bought books. They still pushed Courtney. You know, I talked to him from time to time. Talked to him a couple weeks ago. He said, "Man, I'm proud of you, man. You really doing your thing." And I said the same thing to him. So you know, I love those guys. They're nobody can ever come between me, Courtney Jackson, and the Chosen Few of Omaha.
That's
Ever.
Yes,
beautiful.
we are also proud of you. I mean,
Yes.
it's kind of unbelievable. I mean, not for you. I'm saying for me to actually know somebody who has elevated to this level in the entertainment industry. Like you started off doing this, doing that. I mean, trucks and managers and
Okay, I was gonna say when we first met him, he was
now you about
driving
to
trucks
be a
and he had like
blockbuster
5
movie.
groups he was managing and he was doing.
And now you're doing movies. Like I'm gonna actually be like, I know him. I got his
Yeah,
number.
man.
You talk on the phone. I know him.
Look, hold
I
on.
got his
They
number.
had me outside of the theater talking about, hey, Doug, you know me, let me in. Don't play.
Wait a minute. Be like that version of the 5 heartbeats.
Like, dang.
Trying to be arrested in LA. Oh no.
Definitely, but man, listen, your hood table has always been good, always been good. I was actually telling Mika today. I said, man, when we did the book launch interview, I said, man, we had people buying books left and right, all off now. I was like, oh
They're
my
like,
god,
what's the link? Drop the link. I'm like,
Yep.
books were just fine.
They were.
So listen, y'all go to that website. Go to that drop shipping website. I have slippers that come in 3 different colors. I have pillows. I have the I Forgive You pillows. They come in 3 different sizes and 7 different colors.
I will be purchasing some stuff. I definitely want me a tumbler. I love a good old,
So we have the silver tumblers that keep the stuff cold.
Oh, okay.
We have those on there. So you just bought your house, so you need an I Forgive You pillow somewhere.
Don't make no curtains.
Don't play because I will
Don't
make
make no.
some. Listen, I'm actually about to make that. We have shower curtains that we're getting ready to release.
That is funny because I was just about to say you got shower curtains.
Yo, I will make sure they get made so y'all can buy some. I will make sure they get made.
That's what's up.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Cool. And look into car seat covers too. And steering wheel covers.
I got you.
Yeah,
Look into all that. Sure.
I got you. Say less. I definitely do that. Definitely do that.
Well, this was awesome. I enjoyed you, Karma Diva, my girl.
Yes.
It's always great to work with Karma Diva doing these interviews because what I don't think about asking, she thinks about, and we both bring something different to the platform. It's always wonderful to have you on here and be able to.
It's a pleasure. I appreciate you guys.
We love you. We love you.
Yeah, we love you too.
Bro, we love you, big bro.
Yeah.
We love you too.
And much success. This movie. I know it's going to do great. The next
and sis, we can't forget about sis too. We ain't gonna leave sis out. We love her too.
Yes, we do. We do. We love you. We love you.
Listen, so y'all get that ebook. Like I said, it drops in August. But the ebook is on pre-order right now. So go ahead and pre-order that book, man. I promise you.
Yes.
I promise you. Well, Tanya said she already pre-ordered hers, so she.
I did. I'm gonna
go and get mine. I ain't thinking about her. I'm gonna go and get mine.
I got Amazon Prime and all that kind of stuff. So all I do like a quick just purchase. Just click on it. Automatic purchase.
I got Amazon Prime too.
So, girl, if you click on that link and it tells you ain't got to go through the process of putting your credit card number, none of that. It's just boom, purchase.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah. All right, brother. If we're gonna probably say goodbye. Well, we're gonna say so long here for us in a minute.
Yes,
but
ma'am.
If you wouldn't mind saying a prayer over us, let's say a prayer.
Oh Lord!
Because I think the last time I hadn't talked to you, but my mom passed since the last time we talked.
Oh wow! I didn't know that. What you say? Tell you at least some encouraging
words.
At
least, if not a prayer, at least some comforting words for the people who might be going through something that we went through as children. Molestation. They might. Sometimes we get teenagers watching, young adults. Older people. It can happen to anybody at any age, really. But what, and
you may even be talking to a person who has done this to somebody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, what I was saying in closing is we have to remember that things that happen to us are not necessarily for us. Mm-hmm. They are for God to get the glory and for you to help somebody else come out of what they're in. Mm-hmm. The Bible says that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and by the words of our testimony. Mm-hmm. And whatever you have gone through, whether it's divorce, whether it's abuse, whether it's foreclosure, whether it's repossession, whether it's bankruptcy, whatever you have gone through, I want you to remember that you have not lost your value. Whatever you have gone through, whatever bumps you have faced, whatever trials and tribulations you have faced, you have not lost your value. I want you to remember that. In my speech on Saturday, God gave me a demonstration on people not losing their value. You've been stomped on, talked about, lied on. What the old song say? I've been lied on,
picked on, talked about,
mistreated. But as long as you got King Jesus, as long
you don't need nobody else.
You got King Jesus.
But as long as you understand that your bumps and your bruises, you have not lost your value. That's the last thing I want to say. You are who you are. You are the workmanship of his hand. You are the apple of his eye. You are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a peculiar person. And yes, bad things happen to peculiar people, but it's only because God has created a situation for revelation.
Great message. Great message. I know that's gonna mean something to somebody.
Yes.
I don't know what that means, but
That means it's time to go.
You just got me so choked up.
we
I
gonna
can't
get
even
out of
talk.
here, and brother.
I can't
We
even talk.
thank
That's
you.
why I need me some more tumblers so I can have a lot of water. But
But
yeah,
brother, we thank you for joining us tonight. Oh,
thank you so much.
as always, you know we love you. We thank you for we thank God for bringing you our way and for always sharing a good and positive word
Mhm.
with all of us. And we cannot wait to see the things that are manifesting in your life that God is blessing you with.
Amen.
And we hope that through you somebody else can be saved and be healed.
Amen.
Amen.
God be the glory.
Amen.
Yes.
I agree. And on that note, everybody, stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times. Grab them books. Stay tuned for the movie. Hit Mika up. Her contact information is on the screen if you want to book him for either coming to you personally or YouTube, Facebook, IG, Twitter, any type of interview,
Media, yeah.
any type of media. Call Mika, okay? And don't
Yeah.
forget to always keep it hood.
Keep it
Keep
hood.
it hood.
Bye.
All right. Good night.
Good night. Love you guys.
Love you too
Love
now.
you more.